Okay, let's go a little bit deeper now with this idea of customizing themes. On the left side of the screen, you can see the PowerPoint file that I've been showing you. It comes as a template. It has a pre-built theme. It does not have a variant that we can use, but I showed you in a previous video that you can click on the More button and come to like Colors and come all the way down to Customize Colors. And here are a set of options that you can change. The first four have to do with the background being light or dark. The 6 accent colors that you see here are going to be very important. We'll look at those in just a moment. And then changing the color of the hyperlink or the followed link. This is where you can change all of these colors. Now, right here on the right side of the screen, we have exactly the same template open, but it's open in Microsoft Word. And what I'm going to do here is come to the Design tab again, and I'm going to come to where we find the themes. But notice that in Word, there is no option up here called Variant, but we do have colors and fonts and effects, and we have other options here like the paragraph spacing and so on. But we're going to select colors because I want to show you what's happening here. We have all of the same color options here that we would have over in PowerPoint, but we come down to Customize Color and click this. We open a very similar, in fact, identical looking dialog box called Create New Theme Colors. That's what both of these are called, Create New Theme Colors. And they are identical because they were both created whenever the person who made this template, whoever that was, they built these colors to work. And so these are the colors that come with it whenever you install the template. And you can change them, but these are the colors that come with it. Now, let me show you what's going on here with these colors and why things like these background and accent colors, let me show you why these are so important for us to be able to customize. I'm going to close this one for Microsoft Word. I'm going to go back to the Home tab. And here is something that I get. I can't even tell you how many students call me about this kind of a question. Maybe there will be an instruction in the book that says to select a certain color of font. And so they'll come to the font color icon and they'll select the drop down. And then they start looking here at these colors. And if you hover over each of these colors, notice this one says brown accent 3, lighter 40%. These are really strange color names coming from Microsoft, but notice that all of them have a name similar to that. Indigo accent 5, lighter color 60%. Look up here. This is called theme colors. The top part of this is called theme colors. Now, if you don't want to select a color that's part of the theme, you don't have to. Now, you're not going to be changing what the settings are. You can make a one-time change of a particular object by selecting one of these or selecting something down here. But what I want you to see is this top part of this box for the font colors are called theme colors, but down here we have what are called standard colors. Let's call them kindergarten colors because these are the colors that you learned when you were in kindergarten. These are just the basic colors. There's blue, green, yellow, and red, and there's nothing fancy about the color name. If you hover over blue, it says blue. Wonderful. We don't have to worry about it being some crazy color name. All right, but here's what I want you to see. Notice the first four colors. You get sort of that off-white, dark brown, off-white, black. Now come over here. Remember I showed you that the theme colors for both Word and PowerPoint were the same because we're using the same theme. So here's that sort of white color, and there's that brown, and here is that sort of a yellowish white, and here is black. And then come down to the accent 1, and we see sort of an orange, red, and maybe dark orange. There you go. Orange, red, dark orange. So look over here. Orange, red, dark orange. Look at these last three. There's blue and a darker blue and a sort of a purplish. Come over here, blue, a darker blue, and a purplish. So the colors that you set here as the accent colors, these are going to become the colors that Microsoft will set up in the theme that you're working with, and these will become the theme colors. But these just have different hues and shading. You know, they're either lighter or they're darker, but they're all part of the colors that you set right here. But these are not the default colors for a regular Microsoft document. And that's what I want to show you next.